Weekends are always good. They bring good tidings. They bring good feels, depending on what side you're on. I'm on the white side today. I'm celebrating a Clasico win. There are people on the red side who are in tears, can't sack their manager, who's been insolent. And then there are also people on the blue side who were beaten by a newly promoted team who themselves are making a statement as far as the league is concerned. Arsenal, though, have also taken advantage of all the slip-ups. And then when you go to the Devil's Den, a group of people think that winning a couple of games on the bounce mean that the glory days are back. Some people scored their first goals on the day. A lot of things have been said. We'll put all of that into perspective on tonight's show. People are wearing back-to-back three-piece suits because their teams have seen a little resurgence. We'll see how all of that goes. Let's do a quick turnaround on the show. When we come back, we'll display the text and WhatsApp lines. Tell me where you are watching the show from wherever it is around the globe, and let's get the conversation going. Let's do a quick turnaround. When we come back, I'll introduce my two good friends, and then we'll get into some highlights. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Channel 1 TV. Coach!
I never knew that when your first love, you see, when your first love is disappointing you, then you Nicodemously, graciously,
I don't know.
You tend to look out for somebody who will comfort you for just some few moments, and then you quickly associate yourself.
Oh, it's not true.
This is today you are turning your back on Liverpool.
I don't know what you mean.
Believe that.
I don't know.
Which team do you know that he supports?
Liverpool.
So why are you saying you're in the white?
You're welcome to the show.
Oh my God.
Oh, thank you very much, Ben. Great to be back here.
It's worth putting on record that I've been a Real Madrid fan since grade 4. So let's put that on record.
And Liverpool fan since
the
Ben. Let's not do that. There's grade 4.
That definitely came after, but you see,
there's grade 4 and there's
the strong pull of the PL means that you can't help but be engrossed in PL talk and PL associations all the time.
Look, since the day I got to know you, that is the team I know you support.
Yeah.
I know you have a soft spot for Real Madrid, but your true love,
I will ignore the adjectives and descriptions you are making. It's because your team is doing well a little bit. So these days, this is what I don't like about United. A little form, and you would think that they have conquered the world. No. They are on top of buildings with trumpets.
You people are still thinking that it is Garnacho and Rashford who you see up front. This is Mbumo. Mbumo.
Let us get into the highlights. Let's start off from the local front. Kumasi Asante Kotoko traveled all the way to Morocco to play with that athletic club. It was not pretty. It was something we all predicted. In the end, it really just came to pass. They were mauled. They've been dumped out of the competition. Let's get the highlights. Yes, so you have the pictures in your shot there. Look at the quality of the pitch. I always can't help but notice the quality of the surface that is being played on. So there you have it there, Coach. I'm sure, look at the crowd. So with that is not even one of the oldest clubs in Morocco, but they have such a big, vibrant, support base. They turned up in their numbers to support their team. So Cross comes in. Look at that. Some very appalling defending there from Asante Kotoko. This was, 1-1? And then, no, that was 2-1. Again, simple cutback.
Where was the goalkeeper going?
Exactly.
No, at that area of the pitch.
At that angle.
Where is he going?
The goal line. You don't leave your goal post.
The defender is in pursuit of the attacker.
Yeah.
Why has he left his goal to go to that area? What is he going to do there?
Look at that. So, if you see that again.
Yes, what is he going to do there?
And he literally clashed with his own player.
Yes.
Eventually could see nothing, and then the goal was scored. There you have it there. With that, by way of news, have signed former Chelsea winger Hakim Ziyech. He is an addition to their team. I think he will be eligible for the latter stages of this, or the next stage of this.
For the group stage.
For the group stage of this competition. So very interesting signing there, Hakim Ziyech. Coach, let me get your thoughts on this one. Kotoko out, heavy defeat, 6-1. This game ended 5-1, but it was 6-1 aggregate overall. That's how it closed out. Very, very appalling.
Oh, Lord Jesus. You see, I don't know when it's going to come to an end. I don't know when our teams will go to Africa and we will be treated in this manner. Get here? A Ghanaian team you watch play in Africa as if we don't know anything about football. Look at the goals that were scored. With cheeky ease, no resistance, nothing. This same team will come back to Ghana and to go in pursuit of the league title. But this is a team that, for the past 3 to 4 years, even beyond, minimum player sold and bought within the season between 14 to 17. Every season, Kumasa Santi Kotoko, or a typical
mass
Ghanaian
recruitments,
team,
mass exodus.
Who does football like this?
20 players, sometimes 18, 21, 25
How can you
players.
go to the market and buy 18 players thinking that you are going to
Chairman
change?
Kotoko, Chief
This
Porcupine.
person has brought his player. Everybody brings his...
Everybody has their player. Everybody has a player.
You see, it is becoming embarrassing. It's becoming disgraceful. And what actually took my breath away was the news I heard. Yeah, please, what was the news?
That immediately after the game, Kotoko agreed with Libyan side Al Ali Benghazi to
sell their
prolific striker. That's Albert Amwa.
Wow. Wow.
They released a statement barely an hour after the game.
You see, I don't know, but what reasons? What were the reasons given for that?
Well, according to the communication director, lawyer Safuluku, that's Safuluku Esquire, he stated that Kotoko needs money to run the club.
Wow.
Yes. And that if you are in Ghana football, you would understand why they had to.
He's essentially telling you that Kotoko is a selling club and it's not the club that is in any position to keep any player who accrues some level of value.
Dr. Keke Sapon said that
you know, you read them to sell.
Look, our football is dead. Because if Kotoko,
a whole Kotoko,
cannot hold on to a player,
they cannot.
Then our football is dead. I think, look, it's better we don't waste time. We don't waste our breath on these people. Not only on Kotoko per se.
You mean the local football
structure? Local football structure. But if the biggest team in Ghana cannot hold on to their prolific striker to see whether they can use him to win the league and go back again and rectify this anomaly. If I am a Kotoko fan, that is why I no longer pay money to go and watch any of our football games. Because I remember the last time when I was very active going to the stadium in Ghana frequently, my team, Hasselhoek at the time, were bringing me absolute joy. Absolute joy. Now, as we sit here today, you see this thing, it will go on and on and on and on and on for the next so many years, only God knows. Because we are not going to stop this.
Yeah, but the thing is, I understand.
Look at the penalty with cheeky ease.
Yeah.
Panenka.
The thing is, if you are, look, what Kotoko did, they've alienated a section of their funds because by selling Albert Amwa.
Look at that goal that was just.
Yes, Aziz Haruna Dari. Yeah, that was poor goalkeeper.
Just look at that. Blame him. At this time, it was already
done. Yeah.
But look at the defenders. They are standing there. They are watching.
Comical.
Don't blame the goalkeeper. Everybody has given up at this time.
Yeah.
So no pride, nothing.
So the thing is, if you're a Kotoko executive, you are stuck between a rock and a hard place because by selling Albert Amwa mere minutes after this humiliation, what you've done is, and the subsequent statement from Safu
Gross disrespect.
what you've done is you've alienated a large chunk of the fans because they can clearly tell that why should I be invested in this team emotionally, financially? Why should I be invested?
Who is there to go and watch?
There's no need to invest in it, and so you've alienated a large section of this Kotoko fan base at a time where you were trying to build them up, and there was momentum towards getting people to the stadium to watch Kotoko games. But this thing has effectively killed it. But if you are a Kotoko executive, what do you do? Because here's a situation where if you turn down this offer, definitely the player is aware of this offer. If you turn down this offer, the next thing you will know, you will have is the player's family, because journalists will report it, the player's family will gather at the facility of Kotoko. Ye nanano, ye pesa oko, or ye this year, one no best say ye busian, shebre. All of these things will happen. And on top of that, here's a situation where you just embarked on an African campaign which yielded nothing. And at the end of the day, you spent a lot of money. Transportation, logistics, hotel.
He couldn't believe it.
He couldn't believe it.
He was quoted as saying before the game that he does not lose to any team twice.
But that should be restricted to the Ghana Premier League or the local scene, because on the African scene, it's very difficult to make that.
Look at the recovery of the Kotoko players.
They were walking.
They were walking. Look. Yeah, no resistance.
That's very poor.
Look. Just look at. Look, is that how to go and press? Look at this.
Oh no.
Let me just give you a piece of my mind on
Jesus Christ.
On what you are saying.
But to finish up on what I was saying, but if you're a Kotoko executive, after dealing with all the players' situation, in case you turn this offer down, there's also the financial bit. You've embarked on this African journey. You spent a lot of money on hotel, logistics, transportation, and all. What is there to show for? You've spent a lot of money. How do you recoup some of that money back? If an offer like this pops up, what do you do? That's why I'm saying that they are stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if you take one decision, it has a cascading effect on the other. If you take another decision, the opposite, it has another cascading effect. And so it's very tough.
Kotoko,
it's tough.
I just quickly go through, and it's not just a Kotoko thing. It's a Ghana
thing.
Ghana football thing. Kotoko did well under Nanayo and Posa, I believe. The structures were in place properly. They made good money. Look, it all comes down to running a proper football ecosystem.
It's as simple as
if you run a proper football ecosystem like Kotoko do, Kotoko should not be struggling for sponsors when going to Africa. True. But you will go and find out that on Kotoko's African journey, coach will contribute small. Chairman here will contribute small. Somebody will buy some tickets. Jesus. Somebody here will provide some hotel. A professional football club cannot be run like that.
Yes.
That's just not how.
And it's very sad,
a pro club
because
is
you look at the politics when it comes to Ghana football in connection to the Black Stars.
Yeah.
The last World Cup that we went to, you had Danlad represent Kotoko and a Free Banya represent Hearts of Oak. It's the same thing that's going to happen in 2026 with Benjamin Asari being part of the core part of the team.
And then there'll be a
there's going to be a
Kotoko
player.
There'll be a campaign for a Kotoko player.
Yes, there's going to be a Kotoko player in there. Look, and at the rate that Albert Amor was playing, he looked likely to be that guy. So by selling him, you've lost out on potential millions.
In fact, I don't even agree with that. That thing, they need to stop it. That thing where
it's absolute nonsense.
Take a local player to go and earn money for the club.
Are they the only team?
They should put their house in order so they can generate their own money. Finish.
And let their players go to the national team on merit.
That's it.
House of Folk. When the likes of Dankwe and Chastela and the entire House of Folk set up represented Ghana, they deserve to be there.
Exactly.
Nobody said we give you.
But we watched the game. Look at the pitch. How many Ghana players are familiar with a pitch being watered just before the game? That alone will take you out of your element.
Yep. So true. And like I'm saying, look, like coach is saying,
to be expected.
We'll come back 5-10 years and our clubs will still be behaving in this manner because nobody will change anything. Look, create a league that is accountable, a league that's transparent, a league that has credibility. Let people with money come and put their money in.
With 6-7 games to the end of our league, we know who is winning.
Let
all this
clubs go through the proper structure so they can stand on their own. Let clubs be able to sell merchandise. Let teams generate organic money. Like,
that's it.
Stand on your own as a club. Make some proper money. Like, I don't get why, if Kotoko's house is in order, they cannot get big organizations in this country to put money behind them. There are organizations in this country who will give you $200,000 if they know that you will use the money judiciously and you will account for it. They'll give you the money.
How much was the players sold for?
Well, they haven't officially confirmed it, but the way we are looking at it, won't go beyond 200,000.
It will be nothing significant, and they know
if they even get 100,000.
Yes, they know that, and that's why they are told. They know that if fans find out how much they sold the players for, there will be uproar. Anyway, let's move it on and go to places where things are better structured. Anyway, Sunderland Football Club were at home. They are having an absolutely stellar season. This time, they were up against Chelsea Football Club. They were not at home, actually. They were playing away from home. But they were up against Chelsea Football Club. It was a game Chelsea probably expected to win, but Sunderland had other ideas. Let's get the highlights. So Talbi, the Moroccan international, getting that all-important winner for Sunderland Football Club. Coach, huge 3 points for them. The win took them up to second on the table. Things have changed a little bit, but they are still punching really high. A big win for them.
You remember we did this game on Football Republic, and at the time I was saying something after 60 minutes when it was 1-1. I said that I'm having the feeling that Sunderland may win this. And I referred to some few years ago when they had the baby jet and then the Azerbaijan done Welbeck 3-0 at the bridge. And then they went, I think 2 seasons later, they repeated the same thing again. The problem here is that Chelsea manager created his own problem for the team. I think this defeat is solely to be put on the doorstep of the manager.
How so?
I don't know whether... did the 2 centre-back get injured?
I think they were tied.
No. Centre-back, 2 of them tied at the same time. Come and sit down. No. I don't know, but...
Maresca has done some very questionable things in game this season.
Hardly would you see such changes. And especially when a champion at the time...
was having such a good game.
Was having such a very good game alongside Chalobah.
Yeah.
So tactically, if you want to effect any change, maybe you can take one of them and keep the other.
Yeah.
So that whoever is being brought on board, the other will help him to get in sync with the intensity and the tempo of the game. But you change the 2 of them, and then you brought on 2 players. I don't even believe they've played together before. Tosin and the other chap. I don't think they've played together. Even if they've played together before, their chemistry
was completely
off.
Yeah.
And look at the goal that Chelsea conceded. Broby, we all know, is not the quickest. He got to the ball first. Tactically, if you are Tosin, you don't bend yourself over and hold the waist of the player. You see that? He was virtually holding the waist of the player. You rather get closer and keep him within your arms length. You put him in between. Do this so that you do that. But you don't do this. What are you squeezing there? There's nothing to squeeze. So I was asking, what is he doing? And we could clearly see that all that Broby was waiting for, he was waiting for his players to arrive. Yeah. So the moment he realized that, he just turned off him because that was such brilliant hold-up play. No, I don't even want to credit Broby. I want to discredit
because there were 2 of them actually.
2 of them.
Yep.
The other defender sensibly couldn't have joined in the party.
Yeah.
He needed to keep his eye on those coming. But if you remember, he kept his eye on the first guy.
I think he should have even drifted a little bit.
The one thing that need to be highlighted is the recovery of the Chelsea midfielders. The 2 players who got to support Broby, they all ran past the entire Chelsea midfielders. How I wish our tactical board was working today. I would have highlighted that. They went past the entire Chelsea midfielders.
Yeah. There were 2 of them.
Where was the recovery? Where was the recovery? And like I'm saying, if you are a coach and you are changing like that, when the game is that close, I would have thought that for him to effect that 2 central defensive changes, then maybe Chelsea will be cruising 3-0. Okay, guys, let's have a rest and let's see what these 2 can go and do. But not when the game was that tight. Yes, Chelsea were possessing the ball, but they were not creating clear there was not even a situation where they created a clear-cut chance where, oh, this one, just go and finish it. No. Anytime they created something in the box of Sunderland, Sunderland had players behind the ball to do the defending. And they did it excellently. So like I'm saying, and then look, another thing, if it was some other team belonging to some other player belonging to some other team, they would have highlighted it. I sat here and I said that Pedro, the one the
Joao Pedro.
No, Joao Pedro.
Joao Pedro, okay.
The trumpet that they blew, I said was overboard.
He's gone
because
2 months.
Look, statistically, he has shown that he's not a prolific goal scorer.
He's gone 2
He will
months
give
without
you those
a shot on
classic
target.
goals.
That's not what I'm saying. 2 months without
look,
a shot on target.
They've not seen anything yet. I sat here and I said, don't let go of Nicholas Jackson. Keep him. Because he brings the best out of the entire Chelsea front line.
Yeah.
His work rate,
Hard
his
working.
contribution,
Yep.
his movement of the ball makes everybody better. They didn't see that because they've gotten what? Pedro and what?
Delap. Liam Delap.
Delap has been injured the whole
Unfortunately,
time.
he has gotten himself injured, or he got injured. But Pedro, look, I don't know, maybe overly reliant on Palmer too. Palmer's absence
The
is
Chelsea
clearly
creativity,
damaging the team.
when we're watching the game, we spoke about it. The creativity is literally non-existent,
Non-existent.
in their
No,
team.
you cannot spend-
Their build-up play is very predictable.
You cannot spend over £2 billion and not have enough depth.
Yep.
To the extent that players of the caliber and experience and talent of Raheem Sterling is sitting on the periphery and receiving £300,000 every
Crazy.
week for no work
They are
done.
bleeding. They are bleeding cash.
£300,000
Yeah, and there's
weekly
this-
for
there's-
no work done.
Yep.
Sterling walks into this team.
Yeah.
If
If
Gittins
he
can
gives-
make this, if
Get
Gittins
it.
can play this,
Sterling
why
cannot
can't
play.
Sterling play?
If Garnacho can play this team, Sterling
Sterling.
cannot play this team.
Garnacho.
The entire Chelsea hierarchy, they are not serious.
Yeah, quick thoughts on Sunderland. Great season they are having. They went second temporarily yesterday, but today the chips are falling in place. They've dropped to fourth on the table. What have you liked about their campaign so far, and how far can they keep this up?
Well, I don't think they can keep this very far, keep this up very far and for that long. I think their best. I see them their best to be like a 9th, 10th place finish. But I love the way they've gone about their business, and it's all about awareness in the sense that look, they've come into the Premier League and they've been able to balance when to be aggressive and when not to be aggressive. In between, swing in between those two within games. And we saw that in that Chelsea game on Saturday, where earlier in the first half, they opened up quite well and they were playing some nice hold-up, brilliant build-up football and possessive football from the mid-block. They weren't in the low block, from the mid-block. But it got to a point in the second half, even coach at a point in time was concerned because they went very deep.
Very, very
They sat very deep and they were looking to counter-attack the whole time.
Yeah.
And eventually, the winner came via a counter-attack. And so it's all about awareness and knowing the quality of players that you have and how to utilize them in specific roles and in specific systems. And that's what I honestly believe has led to their success this early in the season. And I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to hold on just a little bit to be able to record, let's say, a 10th place, 9th place finish
That would be-
at the end of the
that-
season.
that
Let me just
that
highlight
crazy.
on Granit Xhaka. I think he's the difference in the entire team because he has immense experience.
Yep.
He played
Yep.
in the EPA for so long. He went to Germany. He's back.
Very vocal leader too.
Of course. And yesterday, his contribution, his movement, his passing, his tackling, very, very well highlighted. I think he's making them good. He's not only playing, but he's coaching them along. Do this, go here, step here, don't do that, calm down, let's keep a low block. And there were moments in that game where when they tried stepping out and it wasn't right, you could clearly see him telling them, stop and let's retreat. If you're a coach and you've got such an experience, he just walked into the team and the coaches
captain was
decided
handed
to
him.
make him the captain.
Yeah.
And you see, football is about being smart. Every player in that Sunderland team, wherever they want to be, I think Xhaka has already been.
Yep.
So he knows how to get them there. So they've humbled themselves
Yep.
to their captain, and he's doing the the work of the coach whilst the game is ongoing. And that is, in my view, very
Fantastic
excellent.
stuff. Fantastic stuff. Granit Xhaka ending his stripes there was, I think it took some convincing to get him to buy into this project, and it looks like it's yielding fruit so far. Let's get into our first break on the show today. When we come back, we'll go to Old Trafford. Man United were giving a little bit of a scare by Brighton and Hove Albion. They responded in equal measure and managed to see out all 3 points. Let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll get into more highlights. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Channel 1 TV. Let me read a few messages before we get into our next batch of highlights. This one here is from Al-Hassan Sakuba in Tamale. Says that, good evening. Always happy watching Coach and my club Man U winning. Can't stop watching the analysis. Ben from Ofanko says, good evening. This weekend was probably the best for us United fans, seeing Chelsea, Liverpool and City all losing. I'm totally convinced that Amorim will take us to our glory days soon. Regards to Coach Dimley. Yo, we are here. I would say Amorim will take United to the glory days soon, or to the promised land, whatever you want to call it. Kenneth Nyama Okateche says, life is a cycle. You can't be at one position at all times. Liverpool should understand the realities of life and enjoy what they are going through. A lot is yet to come. Good evening, Coach Apeke. Apart from Awo, she says, good evening to you guys. If Liverpool does not quickly shake things up, especially defensively, the only thing that will shine at Anfield will be Anaslot Sakura, Akwanuasa. It says, please ask Coach that what is the name of the dance Tosin was trying with Broby? Oh, man. Anyway, let's get into some highlights. Let's go to Old Trafford and let's check out that game between Man United and Brighton and Hove Albion. Wow. So Brian Mbeumo doing his thing there. Big time. Big time win. It was a game that was supposed to be comfortable for United. Ended up being very, very nervy.
Yeah, I think the reason for that was the number of changes that Amorim had to do. Because clearly after 60, 70 minutes, you have to change Casemiro. He's shown that his legs would not be available or will not carry him through the 90 minutes. But yesterday he was extremely very, very good. Having said that, you see, the persistent call to get Kobe Mainoo to play in this team, again, was highlighted. Yesterday when he came onto the pitch, he came to replace
Casemiro.
At the time that Man United were cruising 3-0. He couldn't stamp his authority in midfield. But you don't want to fault him for the 2 goals. But Man United lost some form of momentum. But Brighton, who were chasing the game, did as many, I think 4 or 5 changes. And then Amorim also did, I think that was where the problem was. I think he should have done maximum 2 changes to keep the understanding, the chemistry going. When you change close to half of your playing body, there are 10 outfield players. When you just take 4 of them out, when you are leading, I mean, the intensity tends to drop, and naturally the team chasing the game tend to give or to get some form of momentum on you and then try to run the show. But having said that, I think the performance was good. Man United, we did the game. If Brighton had won this, they would have beaten United 5 out of 6. That was unacceptable. And I'm saying something that needs to be taken recognition of by everybody. This Man United attacking force is not the days of Garnacho, Rashford, and Sancho and co. Martial and co. This is Matthias Cunha, Mbeumo, and Šeško. There is a clear difference in class. Take it or leave it. What Cunha brings, none of Rashford could bring to the table. Matthias Cunha is so technically good that he can do anything he wants to do. My joy here is that, for once, the recruitment team bought players who are Premier League proven. I am waiting for the day where Šeško will now get himself in sync with the tempo. He's still not up there yet. But you can admire his all-round contribution. Look at the touch that created the first assist for Brian Mbeumo.
Yeah.
First touch took him away from the player, and then he saw the pass which he executed. There isn't too much to say than to be very cautious if you are a Man United fan, and to hope that 3 wins becomes 4 wins, become 5 wins, and get the young man
to cut his hair.
To cut his hair and look a bit decent for his wife, and then from there we can see what happens. But look, again, this goalkeeper, this is it Lawman. Look, if this is what he's going to bring to the party. Last week I sat in and I said, oh la la. I'm going to say, oh la 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 la.
But I think he could have saved the Welbeck.
No, the Welbeck
that free kick was
that free kick. No, the difference here is that
because
it was his position. He stood on the line under the bar. I'm sure the goalkeeper's trainer will highlight that to him. If he had started his movement a yard or two off the line, because he got to the ball all right, but because he was under the bar, he got the ball and the ball hit the bar. But if he had got it, he would have just taken it
because
up.
the ball wasn't placed to
that far
to the extreme right side. It was a bit
close to him,
a bit central.
But the wall,
and so for me, I thought
the wall didn't jump. Because normally when keepers form the wall and they take their position, if the wall is, that is why of late you have players going down or lying right behind the wall, so that if you go down, he also, if the wall had jumped, they would have dealt with it. Because the wall didn't jump, he had to move 1-2 before doing this. So look, at his age, how old is he? 21, 22? And what he's doing, oh la 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 la, oh Charlie. He's going to be the next David De Gea. No two ways about that. You remember I called Amorim and I told him that if you want me to stop backing you, play Bayinde. But if you want me to back you, take Bayinde and put Loma. And Loma so far has looked very good. Yeah.
Quick thoughts on Kobe Mainoo again and Patrick Dorgu. I was just following the discourse online, and a lot of United fans completely ripped into the two of them, especially Patrick Dorgu. Most people seem to think that he is completely out of his depth playing at Man United.
Yes, I think, look, because he's quite young, so you can give him a little bit of grace, knowing very well that his first season with Man United was pretty solid. It wasn't overly impressive, it wasn't poor.
It was just,
yes, it was just solid.
Okay.
Yes, but if you have Diogo Dalot playing as an inverted left wing back,
and you are there,
and you have Amad Diallo playing as an inverted right wing back, and they got the job done, solid. Then the changes were made. Amad was taken off. Diogo Dalot was moved to his natural position on the right side, and you were left-footed wing back. You came in, and all of a sudden, they lost the structure of the game plan. And yes, it was clearly intertwined with Kobe Mainoo's performance in the middle of the pitch, where he couldn't dictate the pace.
He was terribly slow.
He couldn't dictate the pace of the game, and his positioning was a bit iffy and a bit questionable, and it allowed the Brighton and Hove Albion players to move the ball quickly within the middle, and that put a lot of pressure on the defense. And Dogu also didn't help. He didn't help the situation. So for me, the substitutions really hurt Manchester United a little bit.
Just to add, I think if Mainoo had dominated, or if he had shown any proper presence, Amorim wouldn't have called Ugarte.
Yes.
When Amorim realized that the guy, so he had to now call Ugarte. And when Ugarte came on, he did very, very well.
Yeah, but Zexi too, I have an issue with him because look, there were reports that he's pushing for a deal to leave in January so that he could get himself some
playing
games
time for the World
Cup. The World Cup. Look, per the way he's going about things, look, he's not helping himself at all. But look at the marking he delivered in the lead up to that Brighton and Hove Albion second goal. Very, very poor. He lost his marker. He didn't even jump properly. His timing was off. And it was just a poor application to the cause. Look, Robin Amorim said something very pointed. Look, that at a point in time, even Coyle, the young academy player from Manchester United, even he was ranked in the depth chart ahead of Casemiro.
Yeah, he said it.
Ahead of Casemiro. But look at where Casemiro is now. He's fought and gotten himself up the rankings again.
Which is fact, because United fans were literally calling for him to be sold coming into the season.
So
Eventually, this will be his last season. He will leave. But look, he surprised me.
Yeah.
Now I've come to accept the basic fact that
he can't go beyond 70
he can't go
minutes.
beyond 70
But
minutes.
if he's well rested, he can give you
It
some
is because of the
quality
nature of the
time.
league. But if you take him to the Italian Serie A
Yeah,
or elsewhere, he plays 90 minutes without any difficulty.
He's shown that he's a quintessential professional.
Yeah.
He's shown that he's a quintessential professional.
He
That's
didn't
a big plus to
complain.
him.
He went about his job diligently.
Yeah.
And he can tell who are those Benjamin, Collier, what? Casemiro. Come on, he just got them out of the way. And
Facts.
there he is.
Facts. Let's move it on and let's go to where things are not so good. Liverpool Football Club, it's a losing spree. At this point, what started out as a blip is a full-blown crisis. And the manager who, like I said last season, was spending time breaking down his tactics to the media and everybody who would listen, all of a sudden cannot find any clues to why his own team is losing matches. Let's get the highlights of Liverpool and Brentford. Mohamed Salah trying to redeem himself a little. Let me start off with you, Yao, on this count. Patience is running thing for Anastot. I think the entire Liverpool fan base have turned on him at this point.
Yep.
The only thing keeping him in the job is the board and his employers. They are the only ones who seem to want him in the job at this point. Can he turn the situation around?
He can turn it around once he comes to the realization that there is no need to force feed the Liverpool fan base and force feed the team with Florian Wirtz's inclusion. There's no need to force it. Look, he's had a trying time getting adjusted to the Premier League, getting himself acquainted with the Premier League. And so just give him some time. At the end of the day, it's not like you don't have quality players. You do have quality players. And so why don't you start your quality players, get them to get the job done. Then you can ease in gradually into that whole system. Because if you have Szoboszlai in there, you have Curtis Jones in there, then you've rotated the squad by moving Grafenberg and McAllister to the bench and all that. That's fine. But at the end of the day, you need to play with your best players, players who have that familiarity among them already, knowing very well that your left fullback isn't delivering as expected. That's Milos Kerkez. Yesterday was one of his better games. Knowing very well that your right fullback, Conor Bradley, was expected to take up the mantle from Trent Alexander-Arnold. And so far, it hasn't gone according to plan. And so you need your midfield to be in the best form of their lives. And though, yes, there's been some level of regression, getting them to play with each other at least will help deal with the issue to an extent. The familiarity can help them deal with the issue to an extent. Other than that, if you keep chopping and changing, there's always going to be a problem. Knowing very well that the current form of Van Dijk is not on point, as it usually is. The current form of Ibrahima Konate is not as it usually is. Even Grafenberg, they've taken a step back. The same with McAllister. It's only Szoboszlai who's playing way beyond what he did last season. And so the least you can do is to offer each other protection or the various department protection. The strike force is fine, but the midfield and the central part of defense is a problem. And so if you are going to help out the situation, familiarity, get the familiarity right in midfield. Don't force this whole Florian Wirtz experiment on this team. Get the familiarity bit right in the midfield. And they should be able to give the back line, which is struggling a little bit of protection to be able to handle this issue a little bit better. Because now it's developing into a crisis. It's developing into a crisis.
League defeat. I think that if you are defending champions and you lose 4 games on the bounce, that is a full-blown crisis.
I think it is. But Slot is to be blamed. Look, I've thought through this, or I've been thinking through it for some time now. You remember I've always said that as to whoever advised them to delay in the payment of that money for Magay. I look at it and I think it is Slot's fault. Because if you could spend 120 million, go back some few weeks later, go and spend another 100 and something, 20 something million, and then go and spend another 78 million pounds within the same area, practically. People will argue, who were the replacement? It was clear that Gakpo and the Italian international could fill in for Luis Diaz. Now, Jota, unfortunately, we all know what happened. The boy from Uruguay, Darwin Núñez left. Now, once you brought in Ekitike, I then believe that he should have gone to fix the mess at the back before thinking of going for Isaac.
But coach, just a quick one. Maybe there's this argument that they were thinking long term and trying to find their direct replacement and replicate what they had in Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, and Roberto Firmino. And so you bring in Florian Wirtz, you bring in KTK, then you bring in Alexander Isak.
Then that Florian Wirtz money should have been on hold. Because he needed to be told that, first and foremost, get attacking players of Premier League experience.
And don't forget that Liverpool wanted to sign a DM the season before.
And
they didn't do it.
And they had
signed Endo as sort of like a stopgap measure then forgot about it altogether.
So they've been in 6s and 7s. Look, nobody can tell me, if I'm building my team and I have a striker and a defender to buy, I buy the defender first. Because I need to be solid at the back. There's a foundation to build upon. I've never seen the teams whose foundation is up front. No. With all my years of following football and doing the little coaching here and there, the foundation is the back line. A solid goalkeeper, a good defensive framework. Then the rest of the team can be established on that. So we saw Van Dijk getting to the end of last season. We saw these concerns. How old is he now? 34 years. When he was 26, 28, 20, he wasn't even that quick. So naturally, the stats should tell you that this is a player who is going to slow down. Look, Magay, if you look at the amount of money Liverpool spent up front, Magay was costing them 50 million pounds.
They just wanted 50 million.
Give them the 50 million.
Somehow they dilly-dally till it came down to about 30-something.
30-something,
and then it fell through.
Eventually, it fell through. If you look at how much money was spent going forward, I think some part of that money should have been spent defensively. And now this is another problem he's creating for him. I would have thought that for a team that is conceding so many goals, and the fact that that midfield combo is not playing well, restore Endo back. Put Endo back into midfield.
Doesn't seem to believe in him at all.
Because he will bring you a bit more defensive cover. He will stop some of the
good mobility.
Easy transitions that teams are having against
Liverpool don't have a midfield. Their midfield is getting run through in every game.
We all know that McAllister is playing through injury. Put him down. Give Gravenberg that offensive role and then bring that established DM into your team. Endo, what does he normally do? He just stops, intercept and pass.
Yeah, that's it.
At this current stage,
and he does it very well.
Effectively. He reads the game better. He steps in when they're in danger. Relieve the likes of Van Dijk and Konate. But look, it's in Van Dijk and Konate, they've gotten the basic principle of defending. If you look at that goal they conceded, Jesus Christ, look at the gap between the two of them.
They never seem to be in agreement again.
Look at the gap between the two of them. So look at the pass. The pass was just played in between the two of them. And the guy came from the blind side, although Konate was aware that he was there. But the pass was so good that the guy just cut in front of him. It isn't that he couldn't match him for pace. But once they cut in front of you, you catch him, you are gone. So I think that the fault was the gap. But as to how Konate defended that, I would have wanted my defender to do something. Don't touch him. Let him go out. Because if you touch him, it's a red card. Already we're losing the game. It makes life even more extreme.
Ben, just a quick one. Maybe looking at the signings that he made, maybe he could revert to like a back three.
A back three. That one.
Then you have Milos Kerkez playing that position that is all too familiar with as a wing back. Then you bring in Jeremy Frimpong as a wing back, which is very familiar him.
Bring Salah inward.
Then bring Salah inward. Pair him with Gakpo. Then Ekitike will lead the line because right now Alexander Isak is out injured. Yeah. Then in the middle, then you have your Szoboszlai and Grafenberg pair. And looking at the way Szoboszlai is playing right now, pairing him with Grafenberg.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
Let me ask you something.
Change the system a little
How much
bit.
longer will you persist if you are the board of Liverpool with Arne Slot before deciding enough is enough?
I think we'll go up to December. I will take it up to December. Because you look at the quality they've got. The conviction is that they will fix this. So you want to give it a bit more time. Because don't forget, he won the league at the very first time of action.
Yeah.
So
it has to give him some credit.
It has earned him some credit in the bank. So let's
I was even looking at the end of the season, like give him this whole season.
No. For the amount of money he spent.
End of the season is too long a time. Let's take a second break on the show. It doesn't matter. You might end up getting relegated.
Getting relegated. Come on, man.
Let's take our second break on the show. When we come back, we have more highlights for you. Manchester City stumbled. Arsenal won against Palace in a difficult game. And then we have some El Clasico action for you as well. More highlights on Scorecard. Stay with us. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Channel 1 TV. Let's get into back-to-back highlights mode now. Let's go to the Emirates first and get that game between Arsenal versus Palace. And then we'll go to Villa Park for Aston Villa versus Manchester City. Let's get those highlights. So Manchester City dropping points, Liverpool dropping points again, Chelsea dropping points, Arsenal picking up a crucial win. 3 points, 4 points at the top of the table now. Coach, your prediction might just come through.
I think, like I've said, if Arteta doesn't win the league, I think he should be sacked. It's a statement I made before the league started, and I'm not going to take that back because I think in terms of proper foundation being laid, he's laid a solid foundation. I just spoke about having a solid defensive network. By far, I think they are the best defensive team in the league.
About 6 centre-backs.
For some time now, I'm even beginning to lose count. Their goalkeeper just sits there not having anything to do. All he comes is to pick loose balls and then restart the attack. And that is a credit and given to the team. Now, again, the over-reliance on set pieces is something I think immediately, without delay, they'll have to fix. Don't get me wrong. Set pieces are integral part. I mean, very integral in the modern game. As a coach, do I like my team to score from set piece? Yes. Do I like to concede from set piece? No. Do I want my team to be overly reliant on set piece? No. Because with the ball playing guys they've got, the technicians they've got in their team, there's Trossard, there's Eze, there's Saka, there's a renowned goal scorer, a player whose game has been built around putting the ball in the back of the net. And with the foundation they've got at the back and the sort of midfield they've got, I think Arteta will have to look at that because it could come down to that. That you may not get the chance to score set pieces all the time. There were periods during last season where they were not even getting the set pieces goals. And that completely derailed their entire season and they couldn't win the silverware. Now, what he needs to do is to sit down with the boys and get them to acknowledge and accept the fact that there's a goal scorer up front. When we didn't have one, understandably, we could play with because we knew there was nobody there. But here's the situation where there's an attacker whose main ambition is to get at the end of the move and score the goals. If you watch Gyökeres play for Arsenal, you feel sorry for him because technically he's not good.
Coming out of the box, coming out onto the flanks.
He's just making those rounds, but the balls are not being played to him. And if you're a manager, you should be worried. You should, and because the reason why you should be worried is that he's shown that when the chances are given to him, he'll put it away. Again, I think and I believe strongly that Arsenal has what it takes to win the game. Quick one on Man City before Yao comes in. Look, we were doing a game on Football Republic, monitoring. My worry with this Man City team, I said it last week, or I've said it for some time now, they are overly reliant on Erling Haaland. This is unlike Pep Guardiola. Everywhere he's been, the teams he's built,
Multiple goal scorers.
multiple goal scorers.
But that's how this Manchester City empire was built.
Exactly, multiple goal
At
scorers.
one point, Raheem Sterling,
There's
Leroy
Raheem Sterling,
Sané.
there's Leroy Sané, there's
Yep.
David Silva,
Yep.
there's Aguero, there's of course Gabriel Jesus, there's of course the one
De Bruyne
and Alvarez, multiple goal scorers. But right now, if you look at them, Doku is not a regular goal scorer.
Nope.
Silvino would not score regularly. Phil Foden, apart from that wonder one season, is gone. Who else is going to put the ball in the back of the net? Erling Haaland. And so today, when you look at Unai Emery,
Well, there's
tactically,
Marmoush, but he's also
he's injured. Tactically, when you look at Villa, what Unai Emery simply did very well is to make sure that there was always a player in and around Haaland.
Haaland.
You either block the pass, block the channel, or Assad, when he's given the ball, we all know that young man, he's not good with his feet. He's good at putting the ball in the back of the net. So stop him from getting full access, complete access to go. And that completely was the catalyst that made sure that Man City didn't come back. If teams then begin to notice that that is the way to deal with them, I think they're going to be in big trouble. But like I said, they are a good team, but not a team that will put fear into any quality opposition. So this is the sort of season they will have. That is why it will be an eyesore and a very disgracing to Arsenal. These may be harsh words, but I'll say it. If Arsenal sits there and Man City come from nowhere to win this league, you sack Arteta twice.
Because last season it happened. Last season it happened. It was there for the taking. And they messed it up. And Liverpool got to win.
And
Got to
even
win the league.
Liverpool literally stumbled through the last 10 games of the season.
Exactly.
Liverpool were praying for the season to end.
Exactly. It wasn't the most.
It wasn't a
iconic,
stellar finish at all.
It wasn't
At
the most
all.
iconic campaign.
Very
it wasn't
far from
the best campaign of a title winning.
Total dominance.
Yes.
to win.
No, it wasn't. That's why there's still some reservation towards Arteta. That if last season, it went away. But this season, you cannot drop it twice in a row. Because looking at the way the season has started, it looks like more or less a repetition of what we had last season, where things have broken the way of Arsenal.
Yep. Competitors are not doing as well as we expect them to do.
Liverpool are not doing as well as they were expected to do. The players aren't settling in at Man City as they were expected to do. And so Man United they are now rebuilding more or less. Tottenham Hotspur, they are not
Chelsea
creative
also
enough.
rebuilding.
Chelsea have their issues. So you look at it carefully and you ask yourself, okay, so
This should
who
be
is the
Arsenal's
closest
title.
challenger to Arsenal at this point in time?
Nobody.
Critically, there's pretty much none.
Nobody.
And so they have to be able to get the job done. They really have to. Other than that, I don't know when they will be able to do it.
Well, let's get more highlights, more back-to-back highlights. Let's go to AFC Bournemouth versus Forest. Our good friend, Forest have a new coach these days. Sean Dyche is in the dugout. He suffered defeat today, and then we'll catch Everton versus Tottenham Hotspur, and then we'll come back in studio and discuss. So back-to-back highlights. So Spurs really taking Everton to the cleanest. Coach, dead balls becoming a very serious part of the game. I mean, clearly from what we've seen all throughout the highlights today, Spurs highlighting that for us. 3 headers to win the game for them. How important is it for teams to be able to, get that going? Because you are getting 5-10 corners a game. You are getting a lot of corners.
For me,
free kicks.
when teams concede from dead balls, at times it's extremely difficult for me to admit to. Because in terms of the numbers, the defending team is always numerically advantage. Because the team, having been awarded the corner kick, takes a player there to take it. Let's assume it's 10v10 outfield players.
Yeah.
Every other player of the two teams are in the box.
Yeah.
That is a 10v9.
Yeah.
Including your goalkeeper. So as to how?
And they don't do that because they will leave at least 2 players or at least 1 player.
To even go and then make sure that
Somebody at the edge of the box and somebody to take care of a counter.
Yeah,
that is it. So at times I look at this, is it that? What is the best way? Coaches have said go man to man. Coaches have said go zona. I think it has to be a blend of man to man and zona.
Is it
For
the
example,
difficulty of dealing with an aerial ball?
that, you see, if that is why if you are recruiting in this league, you cannot recruit certain players. Look at Liverpool. That is one of the reasons why they are struggling, but most people don't see it. Because Liverpool have only 2 genuine headers of the ball in their team, Van Dijk and Konate. The entire back line,
Shots.
Kerkes, Frimpong,
Bradley.
Bradley, they are not powerful in the air.
No.
Robertson, he's never been powerful in the air. So now what teams are doing in the case of
target those two.
They are targeting those, bypassing them, or make sure that you restrict their total dominance, and then you get something in on them. Okay? But like I'm saying, if you keep conceding, in the case of Everton, 2 goals from set piece, the same player, and at times it is even so obvious that what is happening? That Dutch defender, Van der Ven, he's the obvious target.
Yeah. Big guy.
He's the
6'4".
renowned header of the ball. So one will
He's a
expect
very
that.
big guy.
If you don't go 1v1 on him, put at least a player in front and behind to restrict his movement, and then get your most dominant header of the ball to be very free, so that he can attack the ball based on the trajectory of the ball, the flight of the ball. And look at the goals. And look at Pickford. He's complaining. The man is moving and he's heading the ball
Right in front of you,
right
yep.
in front of him to the net.
Yep.
I mean, where is your presence as a goalkeeper?
And he's a big guy too.
And he's big.
Yep.
So, you see, David Moyes will look at this and then look at the manager to concede. David Moyes' team hardly will concede from set during the days of Aaron Fellaini.
He's a set-piece guru himself.
He himself.
Yep.
We saw how dominant he was at West Ham with the set pieces. So, I don't know, but look, credit must be given to Spurs. But for me, on set pieces, I want to discredit the defending team. I think you've got the numerical advantage, you've got the presence in the box, you should be able to deal with it.
Let's move on to other leagues. Let's do back-to-back again. This time, let's go to the Santiago Bernabeu. El Clasico is where the action is at. Real Madrid Football Club were on a 4-match losing streak to Barcelona, their rivals. Lost every Clasico last season. They were desperate to end it. And Xabi Alonso, this was his first El Clasico as Real Madrid manager. That's exactly what he did. Put a stop to the defeats for Barcelona. Let's get into it. 2 big matches, 2 different leagues. Let's start off with the Clasico. Your beloved Barcelona today didn't really come to the party. It seemed like a match Real Madrid were extra determined not to lose.
And I think the officiating of the game too took something from it. But having said that, I think Real deserved to win, because on the day, there was something that they did right. The timing of the Mbappe run. Last season, he just couldn't
caught
get
offside multiple
several
times.
So I was looking at how, as a player, the coaching staff would take
I
him
remember
through that.
you did a little tutorial about how you needed to check your run back and then
go.
Yeah.
So I was very much impressed with him. At the end of the day, he buried it. And I think he's in the form of his life.
Yep.
You give him one chance, he puts it away. And then on the part of Barcelona, I think the problem here is their team lack depth. So when there are 1 or 2 injuries and 1 or 2 players are not fit, Lamine Yamal in particular, we all know he's not fit.
Yeah.
He's playing through some injuries, and that is risky for a 19-year-old. You have to manage his game time and make sure he stays fit. Having said that, the fact that, look at Marcus Rashford. He did very well today, but defensively he was not. The Barcelona team had problems asking their 2 wingers to drop. I don't know whether it was the coaching that say that, you know what, don't come back. We'll use the 2 of you as outlets. But tactically, that would be wrong, because when you have the fullbacks of Real Madrid, when they have the ball, running off, how many times did we not see Vinicius using the
Carreras had
as
a
a
really
decoy.
good game.
Yeah.
How many times
Shackle
did we
Lamine
not
Yamal.
see Valverde also running off? And Rashford and Lamine would not drop. And I was watching, and I was like, look, if they are not going to drop, then Real Madrid is going to have a field day. But something that Xabi Alonso did so smart. I was telling Abeku, that I'm not sure Real can maintain the intensity. That first half was played at a very, very high intensity. And I'm saying that I'm not sure they could maintain that. So therefore, I said Barcelona to come into the game in the second half and dominate the possession and create. But look, the defensive line cover, the shape of the Real Madrid
I've never seen Real Madrid defend like this before.
Because they know that the back line you can't trust. So in order to protect these guys, let's form a shade and a low block and play on the counter. And I think Xabi Alonso got it.
This is the most disciplined Clasico defending I have ever watched.
Brilliant. And for Barcelona to break that down, they needed Lamine to be at his very best. They needed Rafinha. And then they needed, I think today, they had a focal point in somebody who could battle physically.
Because Ferran Torres was wasteful today.
He was very wasteful, and he was virtually bullied by the Brazilian defender, Militao. They needed Lewandowski. It is a clear indication that Mr. Laporta and co cannot be crying over there's no money, there's no money, there's no money. Go out there. They should be going to Man City. They should be talking to Erling Haaland and presenting the Barcelona project to him. Yes, you've done well for Man City, but come and play for a bigger team. And I'm saying
that is a very ambitious project.
The man is getting what 500,000 pounds a week.
Barcelona will crumble under that kind of salary.
Currently, they will. But if it was the
Barcelona
of old,
I mean, they'll get better.
They should be.
They were paying out these salaries to Dembele and Griezmann.
The pride of coming to play for Barcelona alone will be tempting enough.
For
Haaland.
Yeah, just a few more seconds before we go. Just your words on that.
Yes, I think this victory is down to Xabi Alonso. It's just down to Xabi Alonso. And I'll give you an example why. Because, look, in the first half, Carreras did his thing on Lamine Yamal. In the second half, it looked like Lamine Yamal was getting himself into the game because Vinicius Jr. wasn't tracking back to help out Carreras. And he spotted it and he took off Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. was upset. But at the end of the day, he got that substitution right, and the timing was also right because he brought on Rodrigo, and that was it. They completely shut down Lamine Yamal and knew that Lamine Yamal wasn't going to get help on the overlap with Jules Koundé being on the right side. And so that was very well played. And yeah, for Barcelona, their defensive issues continues because how do you concede a goal like that? Jude Bellingham wouldn't score an easier goal in the Clasico than what he scored. It was just so easy.
Took a lot of composure. Beto of Everton would have missed it. Beto of Everton would have missed that chance. Two more messages before I go. This one here says, "Hi Ben. On a more serious note, United are picky. It's just a matter of time. I'm not a United fan though." Interesting. This one says, "This Arsenal set piece is making defenders more disciplined not to concede corners and fouls. Set pieces are now like penalties." We are fair from Junction in Amasaman. So thank you very much, Coach. Thank you, Yao. Thank you guys for making time to watch the show and also for sending in messages. Same time next week, Scorecard will be back on your screens.